Whether this forest demon was dead or not, I decided to make sure, and I struck his face 3 times with the sharp end of the poker. Even dead, that freak was terrifying to me.
Hi, I am Mike. When I was a kid, my friends and I often liked to play in construction sites, basements, attics, and other abandoned and desolate places. Our house had a basement that was locked. So, one day, me and the guys saw that the door to the basement was open. Without thinking twice, we decided to go down there. We always wanted to know what was under our house. The mysterious door to the dungeon beckoned and frightened at the same time. One of the boys ran out to get a lantern. We opened the creepy door into the unknown. It was dark and frightening, but curiosity drove us to seek adventure. The basement was dark and damp. There were pipes sticking out everywhere, with cats running around and flashing their eyes. We moved farther and farther away, illuminating the walls with a flashlight. There was the smell of damp and mold everywhere. The shadows from the cats turned into huge panthers and hissed loudly at us. From deep in the basement came a sound like a silent song. We all huddled together and fell silent. A lantern illuminated the entrance to the corridor, where the sound came from. Someone said, "Shall we go back?" But his question went unanswered. Trying not to make any noise, we moved into the dark room. The ray showed a small room, hung with large pipes and cobwebs. A broomstick lay on the floor. A scary tune was somewhere nearby. As the lantern drove around the walls, looking for the source of the sound, its beam caught the cat's eyes. They stared with yellow lights directly at us. The cat sat on the shoulders of a silhouette. The lantern illuminated a figure, in a black dress. Someone was sitting with their back to us, singing a scary song. And a huge black cat was sitting on the silhouette's shoulder. The silhouette abruptly stopped singing and turned to us. We froze in horror and saw an old woman who held out her arms to us. "Come in, boys, don't be afraid." A dry hand, with yellow fingernails, almost reached us. Everyone recognized the grandmother, from our entryway, from the second floor. She always walked around in black in her dress, and was very nasty. We screamed with fear and ran, pushing each other toward the exit. Behind us, we could hear the old woman's disgusting laughter. Everyone ran home. I hardly slept at night and cried a lot in fear. My parents kept me calm for another week, and strictly forbade me to climb in the basement. With the boys, we decided to check on the old neighbor in a couple of days and called her apartment. We decided to watch our neighbor at the entryway. But we haven't seen her since. Everyone thought she was either coming home late or had gone somewhere. Everyone began to forget the incident. And then there was a coffin lid at the entrance. There was such a stupid custom, to put the attribute of death on the day of the funeral. We found out that this old grandmother had died. From the second floor, the way to the basement was open. Once again we decided to go down to the basement with the boys. Everyone had flashlights now. When we got to the room where we met the old woman, we stood upright. Our flashlights illuminated an empty chair, on which sat a huge black cat. A broom stood beside it. We froze, not knowing what to do. The cat looked at us, and suddenly sang the very song the old woman was singing. Behind our backs, we heard someone's footsteps. Everyone turned around and shone a light in the doorway. The shadow of our neighbor was hanging on the wall. We could hear our hearts beating. Everyone cried out in fear and rushed to the exit. As we ran out of the basement, we all heard the granny's nasty laughter echoing in our backs. Since then, no one has risked looking into that cellar again. A huge padlock was put on it and it was fenced off with bars. The plumbers would go down there whenever there was an accident or a burst pipe, but they came back and were never seen again.
If you liked the story, please subscribe and like. Till tomorrow.